A Montreal factory is about to become ground zero for NATO's biggest power shift in 70 years. Canada isn't just buying fighter jets. They're building engines that could free half of Europe from American export control. One British engine, one Swedish fighter, and the entire Atlantic alliance hangs in the balance. Hidden in the industrial heart of Montreal, Rolls Royce Canada has operated for 75 years, primarily working on BR-710 and TAE-611-8/C engines used in business jets from Bombardier and Gulfstream, supporting over 600 aircraft operators in 30 countries. But this aerospace repair facility is about to pivot into military manufacturing that could reshape global defense alliances. Sweden's Saab is proposing a new British Rolls-Royce EJ230 engine for the Gripen fighter jet, with the engine improving the aircraft's flight performance substantially and boosting its evaluation score. This isn't just an engineering upgrade, it's a declaration of independence from American export controls. Why does this matter? The Gripen currently uses a license-built General Electric F404 engine, specifically the Volvo RM12 variant, with the Gripen E-Series featuring the more powerful F414 GE39E turbofan. Every single one requires U.S. State Department approval for export. Washington can veto any sale to any country at any time. The concern is that Washington will never approve the export license of the GE engine to Canada, which is why the Swedes are offering the British Rolls-Royce EJ230 engine instead, and Canada has the manufacturing capability to build it. Prime Minister Mark Carney announced in June 2025 that Canada and NATO allies agreed to a new defense investment pledge of investing 5% of annual GDP by 2035, with 3.5% for core military capabilities and 1.5% for defense and security-related expenditure. This represents the largest Canadian military buildup since World War II. But here's what makes this revolutionary. Canada met NATO's target of spending 2% of GDP on defense for the first time in 2025 and committed to the new target of 5% by 2035. Carney stated that Canada should no longer send 3/4 of defense capital spending to America and is diversifying procurement to enhance relationships with the EU. This isn't just about money, it's about strategic autonomy. Carney noted that approximately 75 cents of every dollar in capital spending on defense winds up going to firms based in the United States. By building Rolls-Royce engines in Montreal for Swedish Gripen fighters, Canada could create a transatlantic defense industrial base completely independent of American veto power. The implications are staggering. If Canada succeeds, they won't just be buying independence, they'll be selling it to every NATO ally tired of Washington's export restrictions. The EJ200 engine is smaller and simpler than its contemporaries, but delivers an unprecedented power-to-weight ratio. Developed by Rolls-Royce, MTU, Avio, and ITP through Eurojet Turbo GmbH, it powers the Eurofighter Typhoon with 2 engines. Now Rolls-Royce is developing the EJ230, a single-engine variant specifically for the Gripen. A single-engine EJ260 pushing out 26,000 pounds of thrust would be a game-changer, allowing significant supercruise and tremendous power-to-weight improvement, though it would require a significant increase in intake area and rear fuselage design changes. The costs would be substantial, but if Canada and Ukraine both ordered such aircraft with a production run of 200 airframes, costs could come right back down. 40% of the Gripen is made of British components, which means the UK already has deep industrial ties to this program. The EJ200 engine used in the Eurofighter Typhoon is slightly smaller in dimensions, but produces a little more thrust than the American F414. The Eurofighter Typhoon uses 2 EJ200 engines with over 600 built, and the engine has seen combat in Libya, proving its operational reliability under fire. If Montreal starts building Rolls-Royce engines for Gripen fighters, the geopolitical consequences cascade across continents. Ukraine has expressed interest in over 100 Gripens, with production potentially done in Canada, where Rolls-Royce engines would be ready to drop into the production line. Colombia just ordered Gripens. Brazil, Czech Republic, Hungary, and South Africa all operate them. Every single one currently depends on U.S. engine export approval. There's growing impetus for Rolls-Royce engine integration, driven by U.S. tariffs on everyone. With the Trump administration weaponizing trade and threatening allies, middle-tier powers are looking for alternatives. A non-ITAR Gripen powered by Canadian-built British engines suddenly becomes the most attractive option on the planet. Rolls Royce unveiled a major breakthrough adapting the EJ230 engine for the Saab Gripen E/F, effectively breaking the jet's reliance on U.S.-made General Electric power plants and eliminating Washington's veto power over exports. This could trigger a fundamental realignment in NATO. Instead of every ally being dependent on American systems, technology, and approval, a European-Canadian industrial axis emerges. France and Sweden already offer alternatives. Now Canada provides manufacturing scale and North American legitimacy. Washington is watching nervously. Before Canada declares victory, brutal realities must be addressed. Developing an EJ200 for single-engine operations requires paying for an engine development and flight test program. The engineering costs are enormous. While a Gripen B was used as a technology demonstrator for Eurofighter engine upgrades that finished R&D in 2013, the Gripen B and Gripen E are not the same aircraft, and the EJ200 is not the EJ230. Canada's defense industrial base has been underinvested for decades and will need renewed focus, resources, and support to meet Hague commitments. Can Montreal's Rolls Royce facility pivot from business jet maintenance to military fighter engine production? The Montreal facility currently works on BR710 and TAE611-8/C engines, caring for almost all of the over 5,000 of these engines flying around the globe. The timeline is punishing. IMP Aerospace and Defense would need to gear up for full production of complete aircraft, while Montreal ramps up engine manufacturing. And all of this while Canada's CF-18 fleet crumbles from age. Can Canada pull this off? The answer will define NATO for the next generation. Montreal's Rolls Royce factory could become the fulcrum that shifts NATO's entire defense industrial architecture away from American dominance. One engine plant, one strategic decision, and the entire balance of transatlantic power hangs on whether Canada has the courage to lead. Is Canada about to revolutionize NATO or make a catastrophic mistake? Drop your take in the comments. And if you want more military analysis that connects the dots, smash that subscribe button now.